When do you guys say your prayers? In the morning or at night? Probably at night, right? Yeah. That's what I did when I was little too. When I was younger, I should say. But now that I've grown up, I say my prayers almost always in the morning while I'm at work, somewhere between my house and the Camas Mill on Highway 14. And I've just thought about it a lot, how my prayers have changed over the years. What I pray for, how I pray. It's gotten a lot simpler. I kind of boil it down to just the basics that get me through a lot of problems. The one thing I always pray for is the ability to make a good choice. Decisions, that no matter what happens, that I can make a good choice. Now, when I was younger, I didn't do that. I always prayed for things that I wanted. And usually I didn't get what I wanted. But anyway, when I was a little boy, I lived in Walla Walla, and the biggest event every year was the county fair. Made me think about this because the county fair is going on, I think, out in Clark County right now. And I drive by and I see the carnival. You guys ever ridden on carnival rides? Ferris wheels, yeah. Those things were so much fun when I was young. I loved them. In fact, wow, yeah, they scare you, but it was fun to be afraid when I was young. So, in the summer in Walla Walla, if I could save $10 throughout the summer, I could go and have a great day at the fair. And me and the neighborhood kids, we would all pool our money so we could go. And lo and behold, if anybody chickened out, oh boy, how we got on them if anybody was afraid to go. So I never chickened out, and we just had so much fun riding those rides. It was just great. In fact, I can remember camping out, sleeping outdoors, and all the neighborhood kids, and we would all laugh and talk about our past experiences on these rides and how great it was. Well, let's go forward a little bit. I'm 26 years old now, and I'm down in Los Angeles, and I'm leaving, and I'm driving up north of Los Angeles, and there's a place called Magic Mountain. And they have this great big roller coaster, and it looked so neat sitting out there. Boy, me and my friend that was with me, Jerry Yo-Yo, we decided we had money, we had time, we're stopping. We're going to have a great time. It just seems so wonderful. Nice warm day. We get in there and we get in the car. It's a little train type affair. And lo and behold, Jerry had this idea, let's get in the front car. It's available. So we did. We did. And it's just great fun. I'm back to being 10 years old again. I can smell peanuts and hot dogs and all the food and cotton candy. And off in the distance, about 100 yards away, there's a Mexican singer, Freddie Fender, and he's singing Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. Life was so good. And I'm sitting there in this car thinking how great this is going to be. And all of a sudden, there's a clunk, a jar. And I get a death grip on this bar in front of me. And at the same time, everybody on this little train starts screaming. And I turn around and I look, and then I realize that Jerry and I are the only adults on this whole ride. And everybody behind us is yelling for joy. Jerry's yelling for joy, but not me. I'm yelling, God help me. I have never been so terrified, honestly, in my entire life. It just hit me so fast what I had done. And as that car starts to move, it starts to climb the hill, and it shudders, and it shakes. And I'm screaming to let me off. I want off of this thing. And, and honestly, I don't know how to describe how horrified I was at what I had done. I had no business on this thing. Well, it chugs up over the top of this 100-foot hill, and it cuts loose. And I had my eyes closed. And every once in a while, I'd just barely open an eye to see when we're going to end. It just scared the bejeebies out of me. My heart pounded. And the funny thing of it is, when we got off of it, Jerry turns to me and he goes, "Oh, you were really screaming a lot. You really enjoyed that, didn't you?" And I go, "No, I did not. That wasn't fun at all." But the silliest thing of all is, I got off of that ride, and immediately we walked around and got on it again. And you know, the second time I wasn't afraid, but it wasn't any fun anymore. I don't know what that says about the human spirit. You know, why would something that frightened me so bad, why would I do it again? And it really wasn't fun the second time at all. It was kind of boring. I knew what to expect. But I thought about that, and you know, in those days I didn't pray to make good choices or good decisions. I just did whatever I wanted to do, and I found myself like, shouldn't have done that. And years later, there's a little carnival comes to our town here. And I took my son, who was about 12 years old, because he had never been to one of these. And him and I got on the one here in town, and the rides were very tame. But he pointed out, he had no interest in it at all. All he did was point out how poor the welds were on this thing. He said, "You realize how this thing has all been reworked? It's not very safe." And he was right. Kind of scared me a little bit. So we got off of that thing, and all of a sudden I realized I didn't feel good. I went home, and my son wanted to know why I didn't want to play, why we didn't want to have fun like we normally did. I was sick. I was nauseated. I felt like I was going to upchuck. So I had to lay on the floor while the room spun around me. That's the last of me in carnival rides. I'm through with this stuff. I try to make better choices. And like I said before, my goal every morning is to pray that I can make good choices during the day in everything. Even what I eat, how I react to things, it makes a big difference. Because oftentimes my temper gets the best of me. And somebody will say something and it sets me off. But if I have prayed that I can make a good choice, I seem to get through it a lot better. So anyway, that's my story for today.